Have you ever felt like you're living someone else's life, and you have no idea how it happened? Like somewhere along the way, you started making choices that weren't really yours, chasing goals that don't actually excite you, playing a role that feels off. And no matter how much you achieve, there's this quiet voice underneath it all whispering, "This isn't it. This isn't me." If that hits close to home, stay with me, because what I'm about to share is something nobody talks about. The hidden reason why so many people feel trapped in a life that doesn't belong to them. And more importantly, how you can find your way back. Here's where it starts. When you were born, you arrived with a completely blank slate. No prejudices, no limitations, no fear of what others think. You simply existed in this pure, unlimited state of potential. But then something happened. The programming began. And I want to be clear, this wasn't anyone's fault. It wasn't a conspiracy. It wasn't bad parenting. It's simply how human beings are wired to survive. Because a child's brain, especially in those first 7 years, is essentially a sponge. Bruce Lipton, a cellular biologist whose work in epigenetics changed how we understand human development, discovered something remarkable about this period. A child's brain operates predominantly in a state called theta, the same brainwave state as hypnosis. Think about what that means. For the first 7 years of your life, you were in a constant state of deep suggestion, absorbing everything around you without a single filter, without a single moment of critical thought. You weren't learning, you were being programmed. And here's where it gets personal, because this is the part that most people never connect to their own life. During those years, the people around you, your parents, your teachers, your family, started telling you who you were. Not always with words, sometimes it was a look, a silence, a comparison to a sibling, a moment where you showed your real feelings and the room went cold. You're too sensitive. Stop being so dramatic. Why can't you be more like your brother? Good girls don't do that. And slowly, almost invisibly, you started building a self-image, not based on who you actually were, but on who it was safe to be, who would be accepted, who would be loved, who would survive in that environment. You created a mask. And you wore it so well for so long that eventually you forgot it was a mask. You stopped living your life and started performing it. Now here's what nobody tells you, and this is the part that changes everything. That false self isn't just an emotional burden, it's a biological one. Bruce Lipton's research shows that your thoughts and emotions don't just affect how you feel. They literally change which genes get switched on and which get switched off. Your body is constantly eavesdropping on your inner world. Every time you suppress who you really are, every time you push down a genuine emotion to maintain the performance, your body registers that as a threat, as stress, as danger, and it responds accordingly. Chronic stress, inflammation, exhaustion that no amount of sleep seems to fix, that constant underlying feeling that something is wrong, even when everything looks fine on the outside. Your body has been trying to tell you something for years. You just didn't know how to listen. But here's where it gets even deeper. And this is the piece that truly blew my mind when I first encountered it. Greg Braden, who has spent decades bridging cutting-edge science with ancient wisdom traditions, points to something that most of us were never taught. That the heart is not just a pump. It's a field generator. Your heart produces an electromagnetic field that is measurably 60 times stronger than the one produced by your brain. 60 times. And this field extends several feet outside your body in every direction. Scientists can measure it. It's not a metaphor. It's physics. And here's what makes this extraordinary. Braden's work suggests that this field carries information. Specifically, it carries the signal of who you truly are, beneath the conditioning, beneath the programming, beneath the mask. Your heart has been broadcasting your authentic self this entire time. But what do most of us do? We override it with our thoughts, our fears, our deeply programmed beliefs about who we're supposed to be. We take that pure, clear signal, the one that knows exactly who you are and what you're here for, and we drown it out with decades of other people's expectations. And so you walk through life feeling disconnected, feeling like something is missing, feeling like you're almost yourself but not quite. That's not a character flaw. That's a signal being suppressed. And when you put Lipton and Braden's work together, something remarkable emerges. Your heart knows who you are. Your genes respond to what you feel and believe, which means that every day you spend living as someone you're not, every day you perform instead of live, you are quite literally telling your own biology a lie, and your body believes it. That's why the exhaustion runs so deep. That's why the stress never fully lifts. That's why you can fix everything on the outside and still feel like something fundamental is broken on the inside. You're not broken, you're misaligned. So here's the good news, and I mean this genuinely. The fact that you were programmed means you can be reprogrammed. The false self you built isn't a flaw. It isn't weakness. It's actually proof of how brilliantly you adapted. You did exactly what you needed to do to survive. But surviving and truly living are two very different things. And you don't have to keep choosing survival. The true version of you, the one who existed before the world told you who to be, that version never left. It's been there the whole time, underneath the layers, underneath the mask, waiting. Quietly, patiently. Your heart never stopped broadcasting it. The question isn't whether you can get back to it. The question is whether you're willing to start listening. So, I want to ask you something, and I'd love for you to answer this in the comments, honestly, even if it's just for yourself. Is there a part of your life right now that doesn't feel like yours? A role you're playing, a version of yourself you perform for others, a dream you quietly buried because someone told you it wasn't realistic? Write it down, whatever comes to mind. I read every single comment, and I genuinely want to know where you are on this journey. So be patient with yourself. This stuff takes time to unpack. But the fact that you're asking these questions at all, that already means something. See you in the next one.